I wanted to keep the audio in the background, but there were a few too many Miley Cyrus songs for me to be comfortable with. So here we are again in Block 3, Week 3, the Overreach Week. Here in episode 13, I believe, I'm just going to be showing sessions 3 and 4 from Block 3 just so that there is examples of each workout from Block 3. So workouts 3 and 4 were based around the power clean and the power snatch. So session 3, the power clean. Here I'm doing a little barbell complex as a warm-up for the power clean. And really the reason I'm implementing the Olympic lifts is I'm trying to develop power, right? I want to increase my power as a way to facilitate enhanced strength. So if you look at the formula for force, force is mass times acceleration. So sometimes we want to train with heavy loads or more mass, and other times we want to train with less load and more acceleration. And that's really the benefit that we can gain from the Olympic lifts. Now, I did compete in Olympic lifting when I was a teenager, but it's not, the Olympic lifts are not a regular part of my training these days. But I like to incorporate them every once in a while. So I'm not going super heavy, obviously, and I don't need to because I'm not trying to compete in Olympic lifting. I'm really just trying to be powerful. And the real emphasis here is speed. But I'll tell you what, I do enjoy incorporating them from time to time because they're very unique and there's just so much technique involved that it's just kind of fun. It's just kind of fun to work on the technique of the Olympic lift. So I've had a good time, and I'm probably going to continue to incorporate them into the program. So something else to think about. So Block 3 had 4 sessions. Sessions 1 and 2 were focused on building strength, right? Basic strength. So that was the 5 sets of 3 reps. And then sessions 3 and 4, the purpose is power. And so this program really kind of looks like the conjugate program. So there's max effort days and there are dynamic effort days, or days that are based on strength and days that are based on power. And I'm not saying it's exact. It's definitely not the way Westside Barbell does it, but the way I programmed this block of training was inspired by conjugate training, which is basically just focusing on a few different elements or a few different training goals at one time. So it's not block periodization where you're trying to work on one single thing. Here I'm working on 2 different things that enhance each other, strength and power. Now, something else to discuss with the 4-day-a-week frequency in this block is that ideally I would work out, session 1 and then session 2 the next day, 1 day off, and then session 2 and then session 3 and then 2 days off. So that would be 1 week of training, and that's what it would look like. But one of the benefits of training at home is that I honestly don't necessarily care that much if I get the workout done in 7 days, like I just mentioned. I would be perfectly fine with doing a session, a day off, a session, a day off, and that way the four sessions would take 8 days, and I'm even okay with taking 9 days, because to me, just when you are just with real life and you're kind of accommodating, the things that pop up in real life, I don't think that there's an issue with taking 8 or 9 days to complete the 4 sessions. And I think that would really just facilitate recovery. And that just makes sense to me right now in the context of, my lifestyle. But also I just think that it will enhance recovery as well. So I don't necessarily have to do it, or I'm not really worried about getting it done on a 7-day, weekly schedule. I'm perfectly fine with taking 8 or 9 days. So the assistance work here is obviously it's strength based, right? The whole purpose of this block is the primary focus is strength. So I'm going 3 sets of 6, and then if I want to go up, I'm not going to increase reps because the focus is strength. I'm going to increase the load. Now here we have, we've transitioned into session number 4, and again, doing a little bit of a barbell complex as a warm-up for the Olympic lifts, doing a few plyometrics. That's something else I'm actually kind of trying to incorporate into my warm-ups, just because if you don't use it, you lose it. And I swear, like plyometrics, it's another advantage to the Olympic lifts, but just you can do other styles of plyometrics, different types of jumps and things like that to try to promote, tendon and ligament stiffness. That's really what, and that stretch shortening cycle, those types of things. And so I think, the older you get, you really do lose that. And so it's important to maintain that stuff in your program. So here again, the snatch on session 4. The beautiful thing about this and the purpose I did it last was obviously the clean is a little bit heavier, so I'll do that on day 3. Snatch is the lightest day on day 4, but the snatch should actually move faster than the clean. I was feeling pretty good with my clean technique there that you saw previously. Snatch, there's a lot to think about here. So some of these felt really good. Some of them not so good. Again, I didn't get super heavy or anything like that, but that's not the goal at all. Again, the goal is just speed, right? I'm basically trying to prime my nervous system to be fast and explosive. So looking at the rep scheme here, we have a power snatch followed by 2 hang power snatches. So the power snatch is from the floor, and then the hang power snatches are from the hip. And this rep scheme is really fairly high volume for the Olympic lifts. Really, I don't try to go higher than 3 repetitions. If you look at the hang on the power cleans, it was 1 power clean from the floor, 2 hang power cleans, followed by 3 push jerks. And so this is pretty high volume for the Olympic lifts. And really, again, I'm just trying to hammer down the technique and develop that power. Whereas in the next block of training, I'm going to bump down the volume to just 2 reps of each power clean and power snatch. So I'm not going to do any hanging stuff. Everything's going to be from the floor, which is really going to allow me to increase the weight. And again, as always, just focus on that speed and technique, because that's really what I'm looking to accomplish here. Now, the last thing I'll mention is the assistance work from session 4. After I completed these snatches, I was just wasn't really feeling it, so I didn't do it, right? And that's actually what happened in week 2 as well. But what I did in week 2 was I came back the following day and completed the assistance work on another day. And I think that's just a really great way that you can stay flexible, and another advantage to having the at-home training facility where you can kind of break your training up like that and really just kind of auto-regulate it to how you're feeling. But here in week 3, I didn't even go back to it. I never even did the assistance work from session 4. And you know what? That's okay. There was someone I heard say one time, the assistance work, it doesn't really matter. Like the main goal is the main lift, and that's what really matters. And I would say, you don't want to skip out on your assistance work all the time, but sometimes, why not? If you're not feeling it, don't do it. Like, whatever. Every once in a while, it's not a big deal. Keep the main thing the main thing. Make sure you're getting your primary lift in, and if there's a certain day where you don't feel like doing that assistance work, if that's going to keep you from working out, then that's worse than coming in and hitting your primary lift, making sure you're getting that main thing done. And then you know what? You don't have to do it all the time. So that's just the way you can stay flexible and individualize your workouts, and it's really just going to increase that consistency because you're just you're doing what feels right, and sometimes that's what you got to do. So that's it for this episode. I appreciate you all for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode on the Deload Week from Block 3.